was looking a minute ago, Clemson's ranked 10th nationally in sacks. You're, right there, a half sack behind the national leader. What's been the difference in the first part of last year?
I believe it's just a determination inside. This year we came into this season with a lot of more expectations than we did last year, and that's been a deciding factor for us in the pass rush.
When did you find out that Chris was not playing for them?
Actually, to the game, I heard he was questionable, but it wasn't no big deal to us. We was gonna play hard no matter what.
So that didn't affect your mental approach to things out there?
No, not really.
I want to go back to something you said after the game. They had just apparently scored a touchdown. It was called back. What did your teammates come and say to you, about needing to play right before you got the sack and the fumble?
I mean, they expect a lot from me, and they just wanted me to make a big play. They knew we needed a turnover, and I was willing to get back there to the quarterback and get the job done.
Vic, are you showing about as much power as speed now, or you think you got a good mix of that now as opposed to maybe last season?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I learned a lot from last year. Last year I used a lot of my quickness, not much speed to power, but this year I'm putting a little bit more weight and got a little more stronger. So I kind of tied into my pass rush now.
What's your weight at?
235.
I think this shows that you don't have to be at 245, I guess.
Yeah, I would say somewhat.
Things slow down for you a little bit. I mean, the game itself, did things come, I don't want to say easy, but is things a little bit easier for you?
I'll say they're a whole lot easier this year, just because I got a lot of experience last year, and they kind of helped me out going into this year.
What's kind of allowed you, there were some questions whether you'd be able to make that transition from being a part-time guy to a guy who's an every down guy. What do you feel like has allowed to make the transition as well as you have?
I believe it's my mindset. I mean, Coach, I knew they was going to be expecting a lot from me this year, want me to be an every down guy. And I just worked hard this offseason and showed up in the spring and had a good spring and had a good camp.
It takes a different mindset more consistently. You have to have to be that every down guy, have to be on all the time.
Yes, sir. I mean, like I said, the work ethic and the determination in the off season and during the spring.
What's the name of your sack move? I forget.
I call it a different rip.
The different rip. How often do you use that in a game?
Actually, every now and then. I didn't really use it that much last game because I had to use the speed of power and just switch it up on him because he was playing my speed. But that's my go-to move.
Talk about the ability. Talk about the ability to be creative and to snatch blocks, to keep from getting smothered by 300-pound offensive tackles. I mean, you're not 270, you're not 280, you're 235. So you're a guy that has to work harder to be creative to avoid that. Just talk about that and how far you've come now.
Oh, I came a long way. Like I said, from last year, using my quickness. I believe guys, they watch the film from last year and they really know that I'm a quick guy. So they play more of my speed now than my speed to power or my inside move or anything. So I believe just keeping the offensive guys, offensive tackles and guards on their toes has helped me out a lot.
Lawrence Taylor always said that when you're a young DN and you don't know what to do, always just rush the passer. Are you a guy though now that going in your third year, your aptitude, your knowledge base of the defense is so much better that you kind of know what your guy next to you is going to do, and you're able to really see everything?
Oh yeah, I mean it's all about experience and experience from last year and going into this year. I mean I have grown a lot and just knowing that whole defense as a whole and knowing what Coach Venables wants from us.
Nick, how much did you and the guys pay attention to what people were saying about Clemson's defense heading into the season, and how much motivation was that for you? And do you feel like you guys are on the way to showing that you guys can play defensively as well?
Yes, it was a lot of motivation. I mean, last year I would say we was the weakest part of the team. Offense was the best part, but now we kind of making an argument here now. I mean, I'm trying to get my the defensive guys going, and they improving each and every day, and we're just trying to be the best that we can be.
Was there ever a time when you were kind of that guy that was bouncing around from position to position in your, early in your career, was there ever a time when you doubted that you would ever find your niche like this?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I had a lot of frustration and a lot of doubt throughout my years here, but thanks be to God that I found a good place, and I like the position that I'm at.
When you picked Clemson, did you ever think that this would be what you were doing?
Nah, I never thought that. I thought I'd be a linebacker or a tight end, but never a defensive end.
Do you have a sack number in mind that you'd like to reach this year? Would it be just getting back to 8, or what's your number?
I mean, if there's a record, I'm trying to break it. Whatever the record is, I'm going for it.
Is kind of the next part of your development not just being so intent on just getting upfield and getting after the quarterback? Or do they just watch you selling out?
They want me to be aggressive. Most of that is getting up the field, but still have to play my technique. So it kind of go both ways.
Does it help knowing that you got guys like Grady and guys like that in the
Oh,
interior
yeah.
that can help with the run, so that if you do end up rushing a passer and the situation ends up being a run, that you're not so out of place or so
Yeah.
I hate to use the word incompetent, but people in the middle that can't make those plays. Does it help knowing that you have those guys?
Oh, yeah, it helps out a lot. I mean, defensive interior, man, some good guys. Linebackers good. And, I like our whole defense. We can depend on each other, and that's what it's about.